The beginning of the week, I really didn't know what to expect. I knew we were coming here as teachers to try to set up the summer camp, but I really wasn't clear about what it is. I had no idea what a blog was. Now I feel really good about that because last night I was on a blog, and I felt like, part of something that I never knew. Since, on Monday I didn't even know what one was.
I already use technology quite a bit in my classes, which are library media sciences, because I'm a librarian at Lynch Middle School. And so I know the kids are very enthusiastic about using the computers for learning, so I'm always looking for new ways to integrate computer work into, what I'm doing with them in the library. So my expectation here was to learn some new things to add to my curriculum with using the computers.
Get out of this is to really implement the technological aspect with the creative aspect, and what I'm doing in the Hoya program, whether it's with animation, graphic novels, but also to get the kids to share the ideas, and especially some of our kids that have inhibitions with writing. This is a great way to almost do it anonymously, but not anonymously, and just to get the technology going. That's what I really initially hope to get out of this.
The main drive behind the Making Connections initiative has been the realization that technology integration into education does not have to be an isolating experience, although that has traditionally been the case. If used creatively, technology has the potential to break down walls, regardless of geographical proximity. Physical space matters less than access to computers, although that remains a difficult hurdle in many schools. Weblogs, with all the built-in features of multiple users posting writing and offering comments to others on the site, seems to be one potential avenue for the emergence of the read, write web in school classrooms. For this initiative funded through the National Writing Project, we chose to focus in the first year on two communities in western Massachusetts that are often isolated and have been struggling in different ways for a number of years, Athol and Holyoke. Athol is a small rural community located to the north, just beyond the expansive Quabbin Reservoir. Holyoke is an urban center located just off Interstate 91, and it is a city that was once a proud mill town, but no longer has that status, as the middle class is left for more suburban communities. We invited middle school teachers from Athol and Holyoke to join us in learning more about the potential of weblogs as a teaching tool that can help their students publish their writing, interact with others from different communities, and begin to use technology in a critical way that moves beyond web navigation. We wanted to provide teachers with a framework for making their classrooms a place of writing and connection, both for themselves and for their students. The Making Connections program consisted of a week-long professional development seminar, as well as 2 professional development days during the school year for teachers in which they learned about many aspects of weblogs. Together, the teachers themselves crafted a curriculum for a week-long free summer youth writing camp program that allowed students and teachers to experiment with weblogs, and then they created a full fall program in which students from all 4 middle schools would be interacting with technology. The curriculum focused on community in many ways. Students reflected upon their own town or city in their introductions, and then asked and responded to questions of those who lived elsewhere. A literature component utilized the weblogs as a virtual reading response network, after students read short stories situated as both rural and urban genres. Students created self-portraits, and then learned how to upload these pictures into the weblog as part of the design of a web page that they created with information about themselves and their views on the world, starting from their very own home and then leading off into global issues. Physical murals representing their neighborhoods were made and delivered as presents to the other schools as a tangible reminder of collaboration. Meanwhile, teachers were engaged in similar activities themselves and found themselves creating their own professional community and support network through technology.
I wonder if we as a group have some ideas on what we mean when we say community. Anybody want to think?
It's changed in the last. There's a historical meaning, which is more geographic. Now, it can mean anything from there's a community of like interests, a community. Basically, I think the simplest way is a grouping of like shared interests. It can't be geographic. I was just talking about this morning with somebody trying to define it. It really depends on context is.
Yeah.
It's a group with some commonality, you know, whether it's, you know,
Third grade
inherent.
definition in the textbook was a community is a place where people live, work, and play together.
Right.
You know, I mean, that's like the basic thing that they would learn in their little textbook.
That's it. That's
Is that
it.
it?
You know, but yeah, but there's so many different levels of
Right,
communities.
right.
You know, classroom community and your neighborhood community and
Work community.
professional community.
No, that's
Church
not
community.
grounded in a physical locality.
Right. Your internet community.
So we're seeing that it's a group of people who come together for a specific purpose.
The way research with access to the internet and how quickly it is for people to post up ideas and thoughts requires us, therefore, to give kids the tools to be more critical. I mean, a textbook going to publishing and then being used in an entire district or something goes through a pretty lengthy process, etc. But now, some kid that goes on and Googles the American Revolution might come up with something that, you know, I mean, the spectrum of perspectives that they can get at, you know, at the drop of a hat is there. So them recognizing and understanding, which is a good thing in many ways, they have more immediate access to a lot more perspectives instead of the straight line, you know, curriculum, you know, and political line of thought. But I think as they're doing research, especially as they're going and researching, you know, history or different issues in and around content that are representing history or different perspectives or different lived experiences, that they know that, you know, well, the first website that comes up on there is just, you know what I mean? There's that much thing that's more immediately accessible.
And it may be a false website too, because anybody can put up anything they want. Really.
So I mean, how do we build that into them? Understand that's technological literacy. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, them understanding the web and what it really.
Well, I'm thinking back to, you know, planting the seeds. Maybe we really talk about, you know, a garden. And maybe the garden that we see is different than the garden that our students would see. Their gardens may be abstract. You know, that they may use symbolism.
And what?
And what I'm foreseeing is maybe a page that they could all have access to add something.
Or if maybe everybody works on their own page or plot and they have to post their picture there and they can write something metaphorically about building, understanding. They can come from any text. You know what I mean? Even if you don't use Seedbook, you could put it out there about this final project is, you know, have you ever heard of community gardens?
Yeah.
You know, maybe they're around, people come together and share.
So like one page where everybody would post like one thing.
Yeah. And then maybe putting that together might be a physical thing, printing out a